Hello. Just getting in from reading some sort of news on the fact that the coronavirus has caused a sort of panic and they're closing, Europe or at least travel from Europe to the US. And so just wanted to post a video to help people find some possible solutions. There's some things about transdermal magnesium a lot of people don't know. It's like the number one antibacterial product you can find. It doesn't work like soap. It doesn't work in that same principle. It destroys bacteria instantly. It doesn't have to like move them or push them anywhere. They're destroyed instantly by it and cannot live in the presence of magnesium chloride. This is well known. That's why this product could be left out, open, poured on the floor, and it would never change over 200,000 years. It would stay the same. And so, a bit like salt, I guess you could say, but with a different quality to it. It's more of a bitter salt than it is like a salty kind of salt. This type of molecule, but anyway. And so this antibacterial feature, I mean, you can just spray a little bit on your hands; it kills everything. And also, it's a way to you can also absorb magnesium through the skin that way. So you can actually put on the back of your hands or whatever, and then you can just wash the front. Let them rinse in a little water or whatever. I'm not saying you need to stop washing your hands. I'm just saying this is a much more extensive and effective way to deal with bacteria with the antibacterial product that's not, there's a lot of these antibacterial soaps and everything, which we're starting to figure out don't work near as well as soap because of the fat in soap and how the fat interacts with the molecule of the bacteria, etc. So this is outside of that whole way, I guess you could say. This is more of a mineral approach. I mean, if you go to hospitals, you'll see that in a lot of the surgery rooms, there's like these doors that have copper or different types of, it's not an alloy, it's either a copper alloy. They may use, I don't think they use any silver in that alloy, but I think it's mostly copper. And this is because when you put your hands on the copper, um, the bacteria cannot live in the presence of that copper. So when you touch that door, there can be no bacteria there. I mean, unless you put some sort of substance or on the door, like food or maybe something you stick on there. But as long as the surface is flat, the bacteria will not be able to live on that part of the door, um, what do you call it, copper part of the door, because it's impossible. And that's because there's like a trigger between the bacteria and that metal, and it happens at a deeper level than even the fat principle, I guess you could say, of soap. It's a much stronger reality. So that's why they use those in hospitals. But anyway, so magnesium falls in that category, and there is a lot of truth to how they test antibacterial products. They I forget the exact terminology, but they drop bacteria around this, and it's the radius from which the bacteria can't penetrate or get close to that product, which shows its effectiveness and maybe the time, the duration, and things like that. So magnesium definitely qualifies in this category. It's a less known benefit of this product, but it's amazing because even the French, I mean, during flu season, not just coronavirus, but even during flu season, like the French use magnesium chloride. They use these little packs, these little sacks of like powder, and it's really horrible stuff because it's been extracted and it's kind of got chemical treatment, and so it's really the worst thing ever. It only costs $1 or $2, so that's why a lot of people use it. But it can work to a certain degree because there's such a deficiency, but it's not the right way to do it. I mean, if you were to do that with this product, just even a couple sprays in like a soup or something, you'd have a much better feel and a much better product. Not only in the purity, because this is coming directly from Holland underneath this place called the Zechstein Sea, which is a stone today. It's actually a clear stone. It's actually like kind of like gold. It's a very hard thing to find, but there's an abundance of it which could last for thousands of years. It's an enormous discovery. And this clear stone is pure magnesium chloride made by nature. No need to put chemicals in there to separate the potassium or heavy metals and all this stuff that most brands are using, all these USP brands and everything else. And don't be fooled by the word Zechstein, because brands are actually using that geological term, Zechstein, as a legal void to use that to hide their true origins. So they can say Zechstein, genuine Zechstein, authentic Zechstein, and it can be coming directly from hell on earth in the Tibetan exploitation area of the Kimdai Basin, which is in Asia, which is where 80% of the magnesium in the world comes from. And most of them are using this. It's just labeled USP once it gets here, and then they remarket it and put some Himalaya or put whatever they want to put on there, or even they'll put Zechstein on there, but it's not true. So the only way to know if it's truly from the Zechstein, there's only one source in Holland, and it's the original and only source, and it's called Zechstein Inside. There's this little logo that you can see here, and that's a trademark, and that shows the true origin of the product and the original origin. So get the right stuff, because the better quality the molecule, the more it can pull out. And so that's important, because today there's a lot of things you got to get out of the body, from chelation, from heavy metals to endocrine disruptors to acid residues and any other kind of toxin. You have to pull all that out. So to get that out, it takes a stickier, I guess you could say, type of magnesium molecule. And I'm not talking about on the surface level, like feel. I'm talking about like at the molecular level. So you need that stickiness. Otherwise, you just kind of treat some sort of magnesium deficiency, which 90% of people over 20 have now in the world because of the soil that we can't get away from through no miracle or pill, or we have to address this deficiency. But so we can't overcome it without the right product and the right way of doing it. I mean, some people think, the mouth is a horrible way to do it. I mean, it's a much better way to do it. You can drug up here in the skin. That doesn't work. That's weaker or whatever. It's actually the reverse, because the skin is ubiquitous. You can dose up much more through this organ called the skin than you could coming through this organ, which is going to affect your kidneys and everything else. So that can harm your kidneys, breaking down these stones. We're not meant to eat stone. And so this is the right way to do it. And it's in line with our Greek and Roman ancestry, all those bath and spa culture from Magnesia in Greece on down to a place called Spa in Belgium, which is actually a source. It's not a spa. It's not a modern spa. That's the name. That's where the word spa, we got it from. It's from that place. And Bath in England, the place called Bath in England, which is actually a city. And this is where they have a lot of the Epsom salt kind of, there's a certain type of quality there of magnesium as well that's in the waters. And so this kind of magnesium rich areas and particularities can be combined in a certain way through a modern tradition, which is what we're trying to do here. So for $25 for 2 months, you're only at $2.50 a week, $3 a week to heal this deficiency. And it's better to do 3 or 4 months. Do it also during this season. I mean, you can apply it to your chest, and that helps. There's been a lot of studies on asthma and emphysema with this, not only with the flu season that they do in France with magnesium chloride, and this is just a transdermal way of doing that same thing. So, and then you can also do a little internal if you need to. It's not, you're going to have a higher quality of product regardless, but to understand that you can do this through the skin is really the big game changer. So come check us out. Don't panic. I think this is going to pass over. Maybe this European move will help us get back to work in a month from now and get things back on track. So we just have to wait and see. And come check us out at theheartoftradition.com. Get the right stuff. Do it right. Order now. It's a great thing to have in a time of not being able to go out and get everything you need and a little bit of panic. Get these type of products so that way you have at least the number one deficiency in the world covered, and you can use it for everything from cramps to pains to ear infections on down to cold sores. I mean, there's a lot of things it can do. It's amazing for the teeth and like for everything to do with like root canals, pain, cavities, etc. It's really amazing what it can do. So everything is written in our booklet, and so come online and check it out for $25 for a 2-month bottle. Thanks, theheartoftradition.com.